Check it. Alright, y'all, what is up? You are back for another video with Data Zero. In this video, we look at AMC and GME, our two favorite meme stocks, and I also look at SPY as well. This video is a little bit more concise and correlated than my last video. Sorry about the rushed update, but I did want to give you guys an update on Friday. But I explained why I think the meme stocks are setting up for a rally. I based that off of technicals and fundamentals, and why I think the SPY is setting up for a major push to the downside based off the technicals and fundamentals as well. I go through each of these stocks explaining my case, why I think a case is either bearish or bullish. I give technicals and fundamentals to back that up, and then hopefully you guys can clearly see why I am making those logical decisions. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and hop in the charts, the facts, the data, and see what we have going on. Hey, what is up? You are back for another video with Data Zero. In this video, we're looking at AMC and GME, our two favorite meme stocks. I'm also looking at SPY as well. This is going to be your market update for what I'm looking at based off the technicals and fundamentals analysis for the week. Again, do not make financial decisions based off what I'm saying in this video. This video is not financial advice, but let's go ahead and hop in the charts, the technicals, and see what we have going on. So again, we're going over SPY. This is your market update for what I think is happening for this week. SPY, AMC, and GME. Let's go ahead and hop into SPY and see what we're looking at. So I do think SPY is going to be moving to the downside. I'm going to be explaining my thesis on why I think SPY is going to be moving to the downside, what potential price points to look for, and support and resistance to look for. So again, crucial resistance for SPY is going to be 443, 445. In that region, I do think SPY is going to top out. We also have bearish divergence here on the 2-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame, bearish divergence in the RSI. It's much easier to see in the 2-hour time frame, so I'll go ahead and explain it. If you do not know what bearish divergence is, that means when price moves to the upside but RSI is moving to the downside. That is called bearish divergence. That means the momentum does not match the reality of the price. So that means momentum is actually to the bearish side, but price is going to the upside. And again, if you have bullish divergence, that means it is going to be a bullish trend starting. If you have bearish divergence, that means that your bullish trend is going to flip to a bearish trend. So it always means the opposite of each other. So as you guys can see, bearish divergence in the chart, as we do have the peak at RSI down here, while price is moving to the upside and RSI is moving to the downside. Again, I think we're going to see that push to the downside. We are forming a micro falling wedge. As you guys can see, I'll go ahead and show you guys what it's going to look like when we break out of this falling wedge. I do think we're about to get a double top push to the upside, which would be a slightly lower high or a slightly higher high. So we could see a top around 441 right here and get a top in this region. If we do not top in that region, then I do think we could push to that 445 range and then start to see that movement to the downside, forming a overall double top and move to the downside for SPY based off the bearish divergence, as well as moving up on decreasing volume. As you guys can see, we're moving up on decreasing volume. As you guys can see right here, we had a volume peak down here at this low. Volume is in a overall downtrend, but price is in a overall uptrend. As you guys can see, we're moving up on decreasing volume. That means that price does not match the momentum once again, and his price is going to come to the downside. So this is what I'm looking at for SPY on the short-term time frame. I do think we're going to see this double top to the upside as we break this micro falling wedge. RSI starts to come to the downside, and we see that bearish cross on the MACD. As you guys can see, we're getting that 4-hour cross on the MACD as we speak, and we're working on it on the 2-hour time frame as well. We have that bearish cross as well. Again, more indicators that we're going to be moving to the downside for SPY. If we go ahead and zoom out, you guys can see that we're in a massive bear flag on the macro and on the macro as well. If you're new to this channel, you have not seen this, but if you're not new to this channel, you guys already know. Hopefully this helps you stay ahead of the herd, doing the exact opposite of the herd. This is the psychology chart. This lets you know where we are at in the market cycles. As you guys can see, if you go ahead and look at SPY's chart, when in doubt, zoom out. Always keep your head on straight with the macro. As you guys can see, we had this massive rally to the upside, then a push to the downside, and now we're moving to the upside in this upwards consolidation chop that looks exactly like the complacency stage, where it says we just need to cool off to see a next rally before a massive rug pull to the downside. And I do think SPY is about to make that massive blow off top that we're seeing right now and then get a capitulation to the downside. I think that this is playing out right now as we speak. Or as you can see, RSI in the weekly time frame getting to the overbought levels on the weekly time frame, again indicative of tops for the SPY all the time. As you guys can see, we reached overbought on the 4-hour time frame before topping out in the massive bull rally that we've seen here in the past, and now we're getting to the same exact levels as we speak on SPY. If you go ahead and look at the fear and greed index, you guys can see that it's extreme greed. You always want to do the exact opposite of the herd. Again, hopefully this helps you stay focused. I use the indexes on fear and greed. I follow these religiously because they help you stay grounded and do the exact opposite of the herd. You always want to be fearful when the crowd is greedy. You always want to be selling, scaling out of your positions, doing what smart money do when people are in extreme greed. When people are in extreme fear, that's when you want to be buying and scaling into positions. That way you can buy the bottoms and sell the tops every single time by doing the opposite of the herd. Use fear and greed. And again, I use this on individual stocks. I use it on crypto. I use it on the stock market. It is very, very useful to find the bottoms and sell the top. So that's what I'm looking at for SPY. I do think we're going to be topping out. And again, I'm extremely fearful as the market is in extreme greed. And I do think the technicals and the fundamentals all are saying the same exact thing, that we're about to see a top out for SPY. As you guys can see, we're also outside of the Bollinger Bands on the weekly time frame as well. Price likes to stay inside of the band. You're going to see this snap back down, and price is going to snap back down to the downside really hard. When this thing comes crashing down, it's going to come crashing down viciously. So that's what I'm looking at for the SPY. Let's go ahead and hop into AMC and GME, our two favorite meme stocks. See what we have going on for AMC and GME. So as you guys can see, AMC and GME are set up extremely bullish in my opinion. I don't know how it's not very clear. We're making higher highs, higher lows. We're way off of the bottoms for GME. As you guys can see, GME's bottom was way at $15. We are way off the bottoms. We keep making higher low, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high. What comes next? A higher high. As we are in this micro falling wedge and coming down to test this overall macro resistance, this macro resistance that has been resistance for 2 years, we're coming to test that as support. That means this 2-year downtrend is ending and a uptrend is going to begin. As you guys can see, we're coming back down to test that perfectly. That's exactly where the falling wedge forms. We are holding these levels of support, and I think GME is either going to consolidate to the side and then push to the upside and start rocketing here on Tuesday or Wednesday. Again, I'm not giving dates, but these are dates of interest that I think we're going to see rallies in the meme stock. So I'm about to give you these dates. These are not dates that I want you guys to focus on. They're just dates of interest to me for a potential rally for meme stocks. So again, it's going to be Tuesday and Wednesday this coming week are dates of interest of a potential rally, or we have the 28th and the 29th of this month. That week is a date of interest for potential rallies for this rally to pop off. As you guys can see, I think the meme stocks are setting up technically and fundamentally for a massive run, and I think it's going to kick off on either those 2 dates. So either Tuesday or Wednesday this coming week. So on those 2 weeks, I should say, Tuesday or Wednesday this coming week, or the week of the 28th and the 29th. Again, they're both setting up for a massive rally. I'm about to explain AMC here, but let's go ahead and keep going in GME and focus on the technicals and show you guys why I think we're setting up for this massive run. So as you guys can see, we're coming back down to test that 2-year sloping resistance, which means a uptrend is going to begin. Also, if you look at the psychology of GME, you guys can see that we've already had our complacency stage right here, that massive rally to the upside. Then you have that upwards consolidation chop. That is your complacency stage. Then we drop down into anger and depression, which is always a lower low. And now we're about to push to the upside, starting a new bull run. As you guys can see, you have that upwards consolidation chop, anger, depression, which is a lower low. Then you get a disbelief rally, start moving into hope, into recovery, and then start getting that crazy euphoria blow off top that we all want to see for AMC and GME. And I do think they're moving into that. Also, if you look at the macro as well, We are testing that resistance. As I said, we're breaking out of this macro falling wedge. We have the Bollinger Bands on the weekly time frame constricting. We have green weekly MACD as well. Again, setting up for a nasty, nasty rally to the upside for AMC and GME. We also have this beautiful double bottom forming off of $15. The peak for this is about $57 to $60. As you guys can see, we're in that range, coming all the way down to that double bottom off of $15. We have one bottom here, a second bottom here, making that rounded cup and handle that we're about to see and blast off to the stratosphere. Again, points of interest are this week and the 28th and the 29th that week as well. Let's go ahead and look at the micro for AMC and GME, showing you guys what I'm looking at on the shorter time frames, and then I'm going to hop into AMC as well. So as you guys can see, we're in this falling wedge, and I do think we're going to get a push to the upside here this week. Once we break the falling wedge, we just need to hold these levels of 2440, 2430 around that range, retest this overall macro sloping resistance as support, and then start pushing to the upside. And once we retest that as support, you're going to see a nasty pump to the upside for GME. GME short interest is at 20.88%, and they have little to no shares available to borrow. I'm going to go ahead and refresh this to make sure we have the most accurate information. But as you guys can see, they have 350,000 shares available to borrow. They have been using a ton of ammo to try to short us down and been doing absolutely nothing. Again, this is bullish, bullish, bullish for GME stock. Also, GME has 60.19% of the float locked up in computer share. That is something to keep in mind. 60.19% of the float locked up in computer share. As you guys can see, something to definitely keep in mind, as GME has a very low float, which means it's prone to extreme movements at any time. This thing could kick off at any time because of the low float, and that most of it is locked up and held by retail. Let's go ahead and hop in AMC. I think I showed you guys why I think GME is setting up for a major rally, and I did give those dates of personal interest that I think the rally could kick off. Let's go ahead and look at AMC stock and see what we're looking at for AMC. So as you guys can see, AMC stock is in a falling wedge as well. These stocks love these falling wedges. As you guys can see, we're working on a bullish cross on the 4-hour time frame. We're overextended to the downside on the 4-hour time frame on the MACD. So we're about to start getting that wave to the upside and start building that bullish momentum to the upside on the 4-hour time frame. We're looking to make that cross here on the 1-hour time frame as well. Again, it looks like we're about mid-wave, so we could see a little bit more downside before a push to the upside. So again, if we see that push to the upside, you're going to see something like this that marked in blue. If not, we're going to see a little bit more downside before that initial upside. So again, do not be discouraged if you see AMC come just a little bit lower as we go ahead and break this falling wedge, holding 450 critical support or critical resistance as support, and then pump to the upside. Again, I gave you guys those dates of personal interest that I am looking for this movement to the upside and a rally to the upside. As we break this falling wedge, I do think we're going to get that continuation to the upside. Again, when in doubt, zoom out. You guys can see that we're making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows each and every time. What comes next? A higher high. We're also forming a beautiful, beautiful rounded bottom for AMC as well. Also, I want to point out that we have been broken out of the macro falling wedge, and I've also pointed out these bullish fractals, letting you guys know that the patterns in the stock repeat over and over and over again. You'll find them on the smaller time frames, the larger time frames, they repeat over and over again. This thing is in a loop, and it is going to rally to the upside like it did just before, and we're going to see that run to the upside. I know some people are saying $16 is going to be the absolute cap of this rally. I do not believe that whatsoever. That doesn't make any sense based off of the fundamentals and technicals of how the shorts are configured, how we could see this rally to the upside or anything of that nature. Let's go ahead and look at the bars pattern and see what we're looking at for the bars pattern right now. As you guys can see, again, it's calling for that same thing that the technicals are saying, a beautiful rounded bottom and then a push to the upside. So again, I think we could come a little bit lower, have that nice rounded bottom, and then get that push to the upside as we form that cup and handle. It's very, very obvious what is happening right now as we continue to hold these key levels of support, not crash back to the downside, holding these levels as they try to short us down. I want to show you guys that they have little to no shares available to borrow for AMC. They used a ton of them to try to short us down and get capitulation, and they only have 6 600 shares available to borrow as of now, and we're seeing cost to borrow start to move to the upside. Every time cost to borrow moves to the upside, we see AMC's price start to rally. In correlation with that, as you guys can see, cost to borrow is moving to the upside. We have 96% cost to borrow right now. Again, this puts pressure on the shorts. Cost to borrow is staying elevated. They cannot keep this up forever. They do not have infinite money anymore. They cannot borrow infinite money because of the raised rates, and liquidity is drying up in the market. Again, I think we're about to see a massive move on those personal dates of interest that I told you guys earlier in the video. Also, I want to point out something about the FTDs. Last time we seen FTDs start to skyrocket. We have way more FTDs than last time. As you guys can see, FTDs start to skyrocket and then they suddenly just drop off a cliff. As you guys can see, we see FTDs run up, then they drop off a cliff. What do we see price do? Start to run up. Now we're seeing the same exact thing. FTDs accept way more FTDs, which means price is going to go way more insane. Then we see FTDs just drop off a cliff. Again, I think this is indicative of a nasty run to the upside. AMC short interest is increasing. As you guys can see, it's 22.62%. 22.62%. Short interest is increasing. Shorts are doubling down while price is going up. Again, this is indicative of a massive rally to the upside here in the near future. I think AMC and GME are both setting up for this move, and we're about to see that move to the upside again here on Tuesday or Wednesday, the week of, or the week of the 28th and the 29th. Again, these are not dates. These are dates of personal interest for to see a rally in AMC and GME. They are not financial advice. Do not make financial decisions based off what I'm saying in these videos. If we go ahead and look at the macro for AMC, you guys can see that we're breaking out of this massive falling wedge, forming a beautiful double bottom right here, which is the same thing GME is doing. We also have this cup and handle formation, or this double bottom formation right here. As you guys can see, the peak of $16 right here. As we come down, form a bottom off $3, make a second bottom off of $3, and I think we're about to come back around, breaking this ascending triangle, this macro ascending triangle marked in white, pushing to the upside, breaking past the golden zone, as you guys can see. Then use the golden zone as support. As you guys can see, let's go ahead and give you guys a little bit of visual with a polyline. So basically coming back around, consolidating, breaking out of this ascending triangle, pushing to the upside, using the golden zone as support, hitting our head off of $16, then absolutely rocketing to the upside after we break that $16 level, basically forming a massive cup and handle breakout to the upside. I do think this is very, very accurate for what we're about to see for AMC stock. Also, I want to point out on the weekly time frame, Bollinger Bands constricting and a green weekly MACD. Look, the Bollinger Bands are even getting more tight. It is ridiculous how tight they are right now. As you guys can see, last time we had Bollinger Bands do anything like this, we had this movement to the upside, and then they were overextended because of that move. But as you guys can see, they started to constrict once again, and we had that push to the upside when we had green weekly MACD as well. Again, when in doubt, zoom out. It will help you keep your head on straight for the macro. If I showed you guys AMC's fear and greed index as well in my previous videos, I do not have it pulled up right now, but it is in fear. So again, you do the opposite of the herd. You want to buy when people are fearful, and AMC is in fear right now. I do think we're about to make that bottom and start pushing to the upside. Also, if you look at the psychology, you can tell that we have already went through our anger and depression stage. This was our euphoria rally. Then we had our sideways consolidation chop right here. This is our complacency stage. We dropped down into anger and then depression, which is always a lower low. We're getting our disbelief rally, as you guys can see right now, and we're about to push to the upside, getting that hope, optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria rally that we all want to see for AMC. So, based off everything I said here, I hopefully gives you guys a little bit clearer picture of what I think is coming for AMC and GME throughout the week, and for SPY throughout the week, and shows why I think SPY is going to be moving to the downside, why AMC and GME are going to be moving to the upside, and start to change and decouple from SPY as SPY starts to crash. And I've done videos on why SPY going down can make AMC go up. I've done a ton of videos on that, so go ahead and check them out on my channel if you'd like or want more information on that. But I do think they're going to decouple from the market. I think AMC and GME are setting up for a nasty, nasty rally, as AMC as well has broken this 2-year sloping resistance, which means a uptrend is coming. GME is working on breaking the 2-year sloping resistance, or has broken it, and is working on using it as support, which means a uptrend is coming, and SPY is about to be topping out and moving to the downside and see a major push to the downside. If you found this video informative, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe for more content like this, and remember you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more Data Zero updates. I also have an Instagram as well. I linked it all down in the comment section below. Go ahead and check me out on there as well. You can also become a member of this channel. Only $2.99 a month. You can cancel at any time. $2.99 a month. You get a ton of perks for becoming a member. Just press the join button next to the subscribe button. As always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out. All right, y'all, that was the video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe for more content like this. And remember, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more Data Zero updates. And I have an Instagram as well. Ask me about my Discord on the Instagram. It is $50 for a lifetime invite. Or you can become a member of this channel for $2.99 a month. Cancel at any time. You get a ton of perks for doing so. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you that watched the end of this video to see this message. And if you want to support me for free, you can simply leave a comment, drop a like, or press subscribe. That is a great way to do that, and it's absolutely free. As always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.